Hey guys, it's Ali here and welcome to the channel. Before we start the video, I want you guys to tell me in the comments if I'm going a bit too fast for your liking. So yeah, I'll try to improve it, I promise. So yeah, let's begin. What if female Deku was a waterbender? Part 2. So class 1A was doing their work after their teacher left because it was now time for their last class of the day. Suddenly, heavy footsteps could be heard. And the door bashed open, revealing All Might. All Might shouted or yelled, "I'm coming to the door like a normal person!" Izumi thought that 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 wasn't normal. People don't really bust through doors unless there's an occasion of some sorts. But she didn't really mind because she was kind of a bit of fangirling it internally too. All Might then said, "Alright class, today we're going to do a few different mock battles, but a bit different because we're reviewing some different scenarios of some sorts. So yeah, let's go." As All Might pressed the button where there are a bunch of cases, one for each student. He told them that it is their hero costumes and hero design costumes that they sent. So yeah, Izumi's costume is basic. You know, just imagine any water bender attire. So yeah, or any attire you want her to wear. So yeah. So All Might told them about the little mock battles that they're going to having. They're going to be having teams that they're going to draw their numbers, and yeah, there'll be a battle of 2-on-2, one being the heroes and one being the villains. The villains will have to hide the bomb, and the villains have to keep the bomb safe for about 15 minutes before the heroes. Before the time after the timer runs out, the villains win. But if the hero somehow captures both villains and captures both villains or touches the bomb, the heroes win. So without further ado, let's begin. While Bakugo and Ida were making a plan, Izumi and Uraraka went to planning. Izumi said, but Kachan doesn't really like me in this. It's more like a personal grudge, to be honest. I'm not sure what's up with his behavior, but he's totally against me, so he's more likely to come charging right at me than at you. So I'll keep him distracted while you try to find the bomb in the vents. Okay? I'm not sure, and try to sneak behind Ida, okay? Don't make that much footsteps and don't make that much noise. Because if you do, Ida's definitely gonna find you, and yeah, we all know that end. But good luck, okay? As Uraraka nodded. Izumi, and now the round begins. Izumi then went inside the building with Uraraka. Izumi is maintaining her footsteps around because we'll try to make her footsteps as quiet as possible because she is a bit she doesn't want because she is because Izumi doesn't really want Bakugo to, find her that easily. So yeah. So Izumi helped Uraraka go in defense, while Izumi is a bit hiding so that Bakugo won't find her that easily and would buy Uraraka some time. Bakugo said, "Where are you? You damn water freak?" Bakugo said as Izumi was hiding. was hiding behind some walls. She then bended some water and put some water chains. The water whip on Bakugo, which was basically a whip made of water and kind of binded Bakugo's arms, so he wouldn't really cause that much damage or make explosive explosions. She would kind of crush Bakugo's gauntlets because, yeah. Bakugo then slips his hand, gets his hand out of the gauntlets and threw an explosion at Izumi. Well, he kind of looked through the explosion to wherever it was. He then looked at Izumi with a lot of rage in his eyes. He then said, "So you're finally gonna face me? Face me, water freak!" And Izumi had a glare similar to Katara's in the thumbnail, saying, "You should underestimate me, Kachan. I know your weaknesses. More specifically, I know how to per se blackmail bindings. I could possibly put your weakness right now." As then a bowl of water then suddenly hit Bakugo. Izumi then said, You sweat nitroglycerin, correct? So if you're not sweating at all, per se, you can't really cause explosions. So you should take me. I basically gave you a bath because you're so stinky." Well, enough for the chit chat. Bye-bye. As Izumi then wrapped Bakugo up in a water whip and put some Quirk canceling handcuffs or tape on Bakugo as she went to find Uraraka. Meanwhile, Uraraka was in the vents as Ida was and watching Ida's monologue. Uraraka was trying pretty hard not to laugh at it because it seemed a bit dorky. But she kind of cracked and laughed pretty hard, which Ida then directly looked at her at the vents, and Uraraka then stopped laughing, and yeah, at this moment she knew she fudged up. As Ida then kicked the vents, trying to get Uraraka out, and Uraraka kind of fell out of the vents. Ida then said, "Ha! You can't trick me, hero!" So yeah. Uraraka then looked around the room to see not really much stuff was there to float. There wasn't really that much stuff to float, okay? Uraraka then kinda taunted Ida, then began to hide. Ida then began trying to kick Uraraka, but it ended up destroying some buildings. And then when Ida saw after a couple minutes of that, Ida saw what he did and kind of facepalmed because he basically gave Uraraka a bunch of materials to, use her quirk on. As soon as he realized that, a bunch of stuff began floating. A bunch of debris started floating and aiming at Ida. Ida tried dodge most of them, but some of them hit his hero suit, but it didn't really damage him at all because he was because of his hero costume. So yeah, Izumi then got through the door and saw the fight. Izumi then decided to not really make any noise and tried to slip some water in Ida's suit. When that happened, Izumi did another water whip and tied Ida's butt to the whip, and then Izumi then pulled Ida to her. She then made octopus arms and began to fight Ida. And mostly wrapping Ida around some tentacles, with trying to wrap Ida some tentacles while Ida was escaping. And to make it even a bit more harder, Uraka added some debris to Izumi's water to make it, do more damage. And then Ida got caught in the water whip, and then Izumi then wrapped the water whip around Ida and put some core canceling handcuffs on him. Uraka then touched the bomb, and the heroes win! Woohoo! After that, Omai announced that the heroes won, and they went back to the room that the students were watching in. So yeah, All Might began to ask, who was the MVP in this round? Momo raised her hand and said, It was Midoriya, sir. All Might, and then Momo gave a explanation on why Midoriya was the MVP. So I'll give you the explanation. Midoriya made a pretty good plan to get the bomb. At first it was pretty silly of her to distract Bakugo because of the personal grudge that the two had. But she actually ambushed him instead of him ambushing her. He also used his weakness against her. So Midoriya also used Bakugo-san's weakness against him. So yeah. And then after that, she quickly binded him and put the core cancelling tape on him and went on. She then went up the stairs pretty quickly because she knows that there wasn't that much time. And then she saw Uraka with Ida. Midoriya tried to do as least damage as possible, at first trying the safe route by trying to sneak up on Ida. But it didn't really work because Ida kept on dodging, so she decided to use a different tactic and use it by force. While also trying to not damage the building as much. After she captured both Ida and Bakugo, she immediately went to put on the tape on her and signaled Uraraka to tap the bomb, as Uraraka did. So it was a pretty fair display on teamwork and such. So yeah, that is my explanation. Momo Yaoyorozu ended. All Might said it was correct, and yeah. And now let's do a little time skip to the USJ. So everyone's on the bus and they're all in their hero outfits. Izumi's outfit wasn't really scratched, was only scratched and had some dirt on it, but it's okay. Izumi's hero costume had a gourd like Gaara's, okay? But instead of filled with sand, it's filled with water, okay? A gourd kind of like Gaara's, but not really. That gourd had a bunch of water, so yeah. So basically it. So they're in the bus and they're talking about how their quirks are. Kirishima said that his quirk wasn't really that good, but Izumi told him that his quirk was amazing, which could be both used for offense and defense, which Kirishima actually smiled to. I was thinking of the ship, yeah, I'm thinking of a ship because someone in the class needs to be shipped with female Deku aside from Bakugo and Todoroki, so yeah. Okay? So Suyu said, if people had flashy, someone said, if anyone had flashy quirks, it would be Todoroki, Bakugo, and Midoriya. Suyu then said, but Bakugo won't really rise to the ranks of heroes. He'll probably be on known for his anger. And plus, he has a pretty bad personality too. So yeah, after a, and Izumi was sitting right next to Kirishima. Izumi got a bit tired because last night she didn't really get that much sleep. So she kinda accidentally fell asleep on Kirishima's shoulder. Kirishima had a little blush on his face, but it quickly disappeared. You already know where I'm going with this. So yeah, when they arrived at the USJ, Kirishima began poking Izumi, telling her to wake up because they're now at the USJ. Izumi then woke up and saw that she was laying on Kirishima's shoulder, and she vigorously apologized to him with a flustered look. Kirishima said it was okay, and yeah, they went to the USJ, where they met the Bro Hero 13. 13 was giving them a lecture about how quirks could be dangerous and such until a black portal suddenly arrived. An army of villains then came out of it, and they said that they were going to kill All Might. Razorhead then looked at them and told 13 to get the students out of there. Izumi then said, Aizawa-sensei, your playstyle isn't suited for this. As let me help you. As Aizawa then said, you can't be a hero with only one trick. You can't be a hero if you're a one-trick pony. That's why I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. As Aizawa then just got down and began fighting villains. Izumi being a bit stubborn, she then just jumped down and began fighting villains with water and such. Izumi and Aizawa were fighting until the mist guys showed up. Or Kurogiri. Kurogiri began to teleport everyone into the... Kurogiri began to teleport everyone in different, in different the different places in the USJ. Izumi, Suyu, and Manana then landed in the water zone, where Izumi, Suyu, and Manana lands on a boat in the middle of the water zone. Izumi then take a look at the boat and once across the boat to see a lot of water type villains. We gotta catch them all. Okay, sorry. So yeah, Izumi then analyzed that they then asked Suyu and Mena what their quirks are. Mena told her that about his quirk, which is basically a sticky ball stuck on his head. If he overuses it, his scalp will kind of bleed. Well, Suyu said that she basically has everything. Her quirk is basically called Frog, and it's basically what a frog could do. Izumi then nodded and explained her quirk. Her quirk was called waterbending, where she could control water, but she could only control it with movements and such. As Izumi then began formulating a plan, she would try to make a whirlpool in the water. Then when the villains were getting sucked into the whirlpool, Suyu would grab both Izumi and Mineta, and they would go to shore, and Mineta would throw his sticky balls into the whirlpool and get all the villains stuck there to apprehend them. And so they did that, and it kind of worked, but it took a while for Izumi to make the whirlpool. After that, Suyu then grabbed her and Mineta, and and just went and jumped over to the other side. Well, Mineta was showing his sticky balls as as the tree landed, and they saw a horrible sight. Aizawa, Aizawa, Aizawa was getting kinda crushed by the Nomu. Izumi was really scared until was really scared, and then Shigaraki noticed them and thought to himself, maybe if maybe he should give the small piece of very a little bit of a surprise. The surprise was killing one of his students. As Shigaraki then tried to touch Suyu because his quirk is decay. Shigaraki was about to touch Suyu until was going to touch Suyu Asui and decay her instantly, but she didn't decay. Shigaraki then looked at Aizawa, which his eyes were red and his hair was floating slightly because he was using his quirk. Shigaraki then looked pretty pissed. And then the symbol piece All Might appeared and busted through the door with some pro heroes. With a few pro heroes that could match up to his speed. For the first time ever, All Might wasn't smiling and began to face the Nomu. They exchanged punches, but for some reason, the Nomu didn't get any weaker. All Might was getting tired, and he began to push to his limits. And then there was a portal that was about to kill. The portal with Shigaraki's hand, almost going to kill All Might, and until Izumi used her water and blocked it. She began to also began to cover for All Might and such. And then when the Nomu could be reached and All Might retreated, jump back, until there were a bottle of ice then surrounded the Nomu. And that person who did the ice thing was Todoroki. Bakugo and Kirishima were fighting the mist guy, and yeah, they double teamed against the mist guy, and Bakugo told Kirishima that his body's not all mist. If he would, it would kind of lose control, and he needs a solid body. Okay. And Bakugo saying no to the metal plates that are attached to him, so they began attacking him and trying to get the metal plates out of him. So yeah. So after that, Shigaraki and Kogiri and a bunch of pro heroes came and with Ida there, and Ida said that he got help, and the pro heroes began capturing the villains, and Shigaraki was having a tantrum, saying it wasn't fair, and it wasn't fair that they cheated. And he told Kurogiri that he would kill him if he wasn't his ticket to go. Kurogiri then made a portal as him and Shigaraki escaped. So that's basically it, everyone. Have a good day or night, and yeah. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a good day and night, and this is Rally signing off. Bye bye.